Good morning, dear students. This is the second video for the first part of chapter of geography, that is India, size and location. In the first video, we discussed the introduction of the chapter and also the location of India. In this video, we are going to discuss about the size of India. So let's begin. The first point to note about the size of India is that India has an area of 3.28 million square kilometers. That means the total area of the Indian mainland is 3.28 million square kilometers. And India occupies only 2.4% of the total geographical area of the world. In front of us, we have the world political map, which shows different countries of the world. In the bright orange color on the right, we have India. All of us can see India very clearly. If not, I have marked it for you guys. You can see the bright orange color as India. We can also see from the map that India is the 7th largest country in the world. The largest country occupying most of the land is Russia, marked as 1 in pink colors, followed by Canada. Canada is the second largest country of the world. On the third number, we have United States of America, that is just beneath Canada. The fourth largest country of the world is China, that is on the right of India in bright yellow color. After China, we have Brazil. That means Brazil is the 5th largest country in the world. The 6th largest country is Australia, again marked in dark yellow color. And finally, we have India, which is the 7th largest country in the world. This slide shows us the bar diagram, the bar graph, which shows the 7 largest countries of the world and also the area occupied by each one of them. You can take a screenshot of it and have a closer careful look. We now move on to other important details about the size of India. India has a land boundary of about 15,200 kilometers. The land boundary, we move on, we by mistake moved on to the other slide. We now will mark the land boundary of India. The land boundary of India will start all the way from Gujarat, covering parts of Jammu Kashmir and then moving all the way to Arunachal Pradesh, Myanmar and all of this. So this part marked in red, which is not obviously appropriately marked, but a rough image has been drawn. This is the land boundary of India, which extends all the way from Gujarat till the easternmost part and covers 15,200 kilometers. Whereas when we talk about the Indian coastline is the boundary of India that has been surrounded by waters. So the above boundary is the Indian land boundary, which is 15,200 kilometers long, whereas the Indian coastline on the bottom covers 7,516.6 kilometers. Now, an important point to note about the Indian coastline is that the Indian coastline not only constitutes this part, but also it constitutes the boundary of the Andaman and Nicobar Island, whereas it also constitutes the boundary of the Lakshadweep Island on the west. So, Indian main coastline not only constitutes the line marked as A, but also it constitutes the boundary of area B, whereas the boundary of area C. So, I hope you all are clear with the land boundary, whereas the Indian coastline. We now will discuss the north and the southern part of India. On the northern part of India, we have the Young-Fold Mountains. The Young-Fold Mountains of Himalayas. whereas on the southern part we have this Deccan Peninsula region. Now, the important point to discuss here is, what is a peninsula? A peninsula is any region that is surrounded by water from three sides. So this is called a Deccan Peninsula region only because it is surrounded by water from all the three sides. By Arabian Sea on the west, by Bay of Bengal on the east, and the Indian Ocean on the south. So this Deccan Peninsula region in the south of India, this Deccan Peninsula region on the south of India divides the Indian Ocean into two parts, the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. We will now move forward to other important details. There is an image of the Indian physical map which shows the longitudinal and latitudinal extent of India. The latitudinal extent is from A to B. That means this line from A to B shows us the latitudinal extent of India, and the latitudinal extent can be calculated by subtracting 97 degree 25 minutes and 68 degree 7 minutes, which will be approximately equal to 30 degrees. We will then calculate the longitudinal extent. Longitudinal extent moves from C to D, and to calculate this longitudinal extent we subtract 37 degree 6 minutes and 8 degree 4 minutes, and again the subtraction will be equal to 30 degrees. Though it can be seen that CD is greater than AB, but in actual terms it is not so. Even though the north-south extent, that means the CD longitudinal extent, seems to be much bigger, but they both are equal, that is approximately equal to 30 degrees. Now, these longitudinal extent, that is AB, and the latitudinal extent, sorry, I confused both of them, the longitudinal extent CD and the latitudinal extent AB, both of them have a very important significance. The latitudinal extent AB, that can be clearly seen in the picture, has an important significance. All of us knows that the sun rises from the east, that means the sun rises from this part, right? And for the sun rays to reach from B to A, it takes almost 2 hours. That is why we have a time lag of approximately 2 hours from Arunachal Pradesh to the westernmost part of India, that is Gujarat. And to avoid this time lag of 2 hours, we set up the time along the standard meridian. You all can see the standard meridian as this dotted line that passes from Mirzapur in Uttar Pradesh. Now this has been set up as the standard meridian of India, and the time along this standard meridian is taken as the standard time for the whole country. So all of us are clear about the significance of this latitudinal extent from A to B, right? We will now discuss the significance of the longitudinal extent from C to D. This longitudinal extent also has an importance. It creates a differences in the duration of day and night between Kanyakumari, the southernmost part of India, and Kashmir, the northernmost part of India. The differences in the day and night are created because of this longitudinal extent. That will be all for today's discussion. I hope every important point that we have discussed in today's video is clear about the size of India. You can take a screenshot of the importance of the longitudinal and latitudinal extent. In the next class, we shall discuss India and the world. Thank you and have a great day.